everyone's been doing their 2015 favourite books, so I thought I'd do it too. Hi guys, so I've decided to finally do something more book related on this channel because so far it's all been music, and I did promise to do some book related stuff. So everyone's been doing their 2015 favourite books, so I thought I'd do it too. Now, oh, I'm looking in the viewfinder, sorry, it's really annoying to me. So I did not actually read as many books as I would have hoped this year, and I don't think I've read like as many books in general over the last few years, because school got in the way of life, I guess, and exams and stuff, and I don't know, I fell out of love of reading, as weird as it sounds. But I'm going to share some paperbacks. I'm doing it a bit different from other people. I'm going to share some paperbacks and then some online, aka Wattpad books. Now hear me out, Wattpad isn't all that bad. A lot of people think it's like dirty fanfic and stuff, and like fanfiction basically of like YouTubers or fanfiction of One Direction. Mind you, One Direction fanfic is one of the most popular things on there, but I don't read fanfiction at all. If you really search, you can find really good books there, and I read a lot of teen fiction / like romance kind of thing, like chick lit kind of thing. That's pretty much all I read. I've never kind of expanded my reading experience really, so I stuck to what I knew, and I found really good books. I've got loads of favourite books. But to start off, we'll do the paperbacks just to get them out of the way. Okay, so first I'll just do, I don't remember what order I read these in, so I'll just do whichever ones I can see. Firstly is Rainbow Rowell's Eleanor and Park, and oh my god, can I just say I loved this book. I was crying. It wasn't the ending I would have expected. It was essentially like, oh, it was such a good book. It was a love story between outcasts, something during the time period it was written. It was supposed to be set, well, not written, it was set in, as far as I remember, the 80s, yeah, 1986, America, 1986. And the kind of love story that Rainbow Rowell writes, it was really well written, and it's contemporary, kind of teen fiction, contemporary young adult, I guess. I don't know which one it falls into, but it's contemporary. But I actually like contemporary quite a bit. I didn't think I would, but I do. So I'll just read the back of it just so in case anyone hasn't read it, but I think I'm a bit late with the bandwagon. I've read it quite late, but just in case anyone hasn't read it, I'll read it out. Eleanor is the new girl in town, and with her chaotic family life, her mismatched clothes and unruly red hair, she couldn't stick out more if she tried. Park is the boy at the back of the bus, black t-shirts, headphones, head in a book. He thinks he's made himself invisible, but not to Eleanor, never to Eleanor. Slowly, steadily, through late night conversations and an ever-growing stack of mixtapes, Eleanor and Park fall for each other. They fall in love with the way you do the first time when you're young, and you feel as if you have nothing and everything to lose. The back, I'm not gonna lie, the blurb was what made me want to read it, and then people's reviews and stuff made me really want to read it too. I also loved Fangirl, but I can't find it. I don't know where it's gone. Like, I have a lot of books, a lot that haven't been read, and I've been collecting over the last year, and it must be amongst them, I don't know, but I did read that. I did like that, but I think I like this more just because the love story between, I don't know, there's something about the fact that Park is this kind of mysterious, kind of like rocker boy, like he loves his comics and stuff, and he does mixtapes. So something about that made me love the characters. And Eleanor has red hair, and I've always wanted her to have red hair. As you can see, I still haven't achieved nice red hair. I've always wanted to have nice curly red hair. And so I'm not gonna lie, I kind of really like the characters. For me, in books, if I don't like characters, doesn't matter if the plot's really, really good, I won't read the book, I guess. If there's like kind of boring characters, or characters that aren't developed as well, or just in general, if I don't like characters, then I won't read a book. And the plot could be really amazing. Like, I know plot is an important part of a book because I'm writing my own book, I know. But for me, characters are like a solid part of why I would want to read a book and why I carry on reading books and stuff. Like, so if I start it off and the characters just aren't doing it for me, I'll stop reading. But because I'm me, I have to finish reading books no matter if I like them or not. So yeah, but this is one of my favourites. I'm not doing them in orders just because, like, I can't order books. They're all my favourites. I love them all, like my children. And I don't have children, but I love them like they're my children, so I couldn't like order them. So yeah. Okay, so the next book is something a little bit different. I don't know if any, okay, well most people watch this know me in real life, so they know I'm Muslim. But I don't know if some of the viewers like from abroad and stuff and all that, but I am Muslim. I may not be the perfect Muslim, but I am Muslim. And this is one book I read over summer, so like during Ramadan period where we fast for the month. It's called Boy vs. Girl by Naima B. Robert. I followed her on Twitter and I talked to her and stuff, and it was just, oh, it was the best thing ever. In general, this is about two brothers, like a brother and sister, and like the brother's called Faraz and the sister's called Farhana. It was just so good. It was like about modern day Muslims and the struggles of like being a modern like Muslim in like nowadays time. It was just really good, and like I'll read the back to you guys, so in case anyone like wants to know what it's about properly, because I'm not very good at describing what books are about, I'm sorry, without like giving away too many details. But I'll read it for you. Farhana swallowed and reached for the hijab, but then she saw with absolute clarity the weird looks from the other girls at school and the smirks from the guys. Did she dare? And then there was Malik. What would she do about him? Faraz was thinking about Screws. He's like a gang person. And the lads. Soon he would finally have respect of the other kids at school. But at what price? He heard Screws' voice, as sharp as a switchblade. This thing is powerful blood. But you know, you have to earn it, see? Just a few more little errands for me. They're twins, born 6 minutes apart. Both are in turmoil and both have life-changing choices to make against the peaceful backdrop of Ramadan. Do Farhana and Faraz have enough courage to do the right thing, and can they help each other, or will one of them draw the other towards catastrophe? Oh, it was so good. Like, I have to admit, I wasn't the best with praying at the beginning of 2015 at all. Like, I don't think I'd hardly ever pray. I'm still not perfect in that sense, but because of this book, I kid you not, I started praying 5 times a day. I'm still a bit iffy, like sometimes I can't read the morning prayer, Fajr, but oh, this kind of helped me kind of want to change. I don't think I'm near like, oh, this is really personal stuff, but I don't think I'm like, because I've heard from some of my friends, like, when you want to wear hijab, you just know it in your heart, like, that you're ready to, like, wear the headscarf, basically. And I don't think I'm there yet, because I don't feel it, but I feel like myself change. Like, I pray more, I read Quran more, I read the Quran, the holy book in our religion and stuff, so I think this book kind of changed me, or maybe at least be a bit more insightful, and a bit more, like, thinking a bit more about the consequences and stuff of, like, life. It's quite deep, but for the young Muslim teenagers, I totally recommend this book. I got it from in Birmingham here. They do have a lot of like this shop around the UK, I think. Don't quote me on that. It's called Amazon's. People in Birmingham may know this shop, may not know this shop. My sisters went in to get some books for their masjid classes kind of thing, so then I went in with them, and then I wandered off to the book section, as I always do in every shop. And like I saw this and it was really good. I picked up a few more kind of like religious Muslim character books, but I haven't got around to reading them yet. But this was the first one I read and I love it, and it's so much that, as you can see, this little thing is a bookmark. My mom's reading it. So yeah, my mom's reading it, so it's really cool. I managed to get my mom to read a bit more. No, honestly, I think this is totally the book for any young Muslim, boy or girl, because it's written in both Faraz and Farhana, the twins, point of view. So basically any boy or girl, like teenager, should read this as a Muslim, or if you're not Muslim, just to like maybe understand the religion a bit more, and like understand it more than what you see in the media and stuff. And I'm going into controversial stuff, I know, but yeah, it's really good and I totally recommend it. It was definitely a big life changer for me, I think, book kind of thing. So yeah, that's, because I'm trying to remember the section of W.H. Smith I got it from. I think they had it in the contemporary fiction like area. It was an interesting book. It's kind of written in like Jeanette Winterson's point of view, because the character's called Jeanette, so it's kind of about her, but at the same time it's not exactly her life, if that makes sense. Because she uses very clever techniques of like using fairy tale stuff and like like, oh, how do I explain this? So it's her life, but like jazzed up a bit or something. That's bad, but it's very interesting. It's about lesbianism, and these are the kind of books I wouldn't read on my own accord. Just not because like I have anything against the LGBT community or anything. I'm all for supporting them and stuff, but just I don't read a lot of like books on that topic or anything like too modern fictiony. Like this, if I saw this cover, I would have in the shop. I would be like, I don't want to read it. And if I read it at the back, I'd be like, I don't want to read it. So if I read the blurb to you, I'll tell you what it says. This is the story of Jeanette, adopted and brought up by her mother as one of the God's elect. Zealous and passionate, she seems destined for her life as a missionary, but then she falls for one of her converts. At 16, Jeanette decides to leave the church, her home and her family for the young woman she loves. Innovative, punchy and tender, Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit is a day's ride into the bizarre outpost of religious excess and human obsession. So it's quite like religious, because even the chapters of the books, if you see these little sticky notes, I separated the chapters for myself. But basically the chapters are named after like the books in the Bible, so Exodus and Genesis and so on, kind of. I don't know if that's in the right order, but but like kind of like that. So it's quite interesting, and I sat down after my actual assignment was due and stuff and read it, and I quite liked it. It was different. I don't know if I'd read something like this again, but it was quite nice. Like, I don't know if anyone would actually want to read something like this, but if you're into that kind of thing, maybe you would. So it's about her leaving religion for the woman she loves and stuff like that, and it's just really interesting. It's about her life being adopted by her mother, who's very strict. She didn't even go to school and stuff like that, so until she had to be sent to school when she was like 5 or 6, I think, and her mum was very like picky about it and stuff, and it was very scary for her because she was brought up very differently from other kids, and she was brought up to be a missionary, as simple as, like, she was brought up in a very religious like background, a very religious home. So it's quite interesting. You'll probably like this. I don't know if anyone would, but I just thought I'd drop it in here because I'm lacking paperback books to share. So yeah, that's that. The last one is another kind of uni one, but it's a play. Now, a lot of people, as soon as I say his name, they're gonna back out this video. Don't back out, wait. A lot of people don't like Shakespeare. Okay, shh, don't do anything. Don't cross this video out. I know why, because school, the way school teaches us Shakespeare is very brain numbing, like mind numbing. Like, I remember doing Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, I think that's it. Yeah, those two plays over and over again in secondary school. So much that I could probably, like, okay, I'm not going to do it now because I don't remember the top of my head, but I could probably, like, tell you the whole story. So I never kind of ventured out in Shakespeare until like college, and we did Othello in drama, and then in English I did Measure for Measure and stuff, and then oh my god, I started loving Shakespeare a lot. And like, I've always liked Shakespeare, it's just school made it a bit made me not want to read it a lot. So one of the plays on my drama module in semester 1 was Shakespeare's Comedy of Errors. Oh my god, I loved this play. It was hilarious. It was so funny. I was just laughing, okay? I was laughing a lot. And again, I didn't actually read this when I was supposed to, because for my assignment I ended up choosing 2 different plays. I ended up choosing, oh actually no, I did choose this one, didn't I? Yes I did, but I still didn't read it. I don't know why I didn't read it. That's bad. Oh, I hope I don't fail that assignment now. But it's so good. It's about 2 sets of twins, so like, I don't remember the names, I'm sorry, I'm really bad with them because it's like old-fashioned-y type of names. Sorry, a bad choice of word, but yeah. There's 2 twins, and then there's 2 like slave twins who are twins too. So like, and they get split between 2 like lands. So one twin or one slave ends up with the dad in one land, with their father, and the other twin and slave ends up with the mother in another land. So then so many years later, the 2 twins who were with the dad wanted to find those twins, so they go off to find them, and it creates havoc and it creates so much funniness, and there's things like prostitutes and stuff, but it's hilarious. Oh, if you want to get into Shakespeare but are too afraid, this is actually it's a fairly easy read, I should think. The words are obviously like complex, but I think I've gotten to the point where I've read Shakespeare that much over school years. I kind of like understood most words. Like, I did have to Google a few words here and there, but it wasn't too bad. I understood the gist of what they were saying, and it's really good. Like, if you want to get into Shakespeare but you're like not too short. I think comedies are to go for, because these comedies kind of make you want to read more because it's funny and like it's just good. So I recommend this for anyone who wants to read it, but I know everyone wouldn't want to, so I just thought I'd throw it in there anyway. So yes, that's okay. So that was one of my paperback books, and next we're onto the Wattpad books. So my laptop's here, so I'm gonna bring it to my lap because I do read them on my phone. Actually, sometimes I read them on my laptop if I'm like, you know, like my phone's died or something. I don't know. But mainly I read them on my phone because I like commenting along the way and stuff and reading other people's comments and stuff, so it's really fun. Because I don't remember when I actually joined Wattpad, so I'm checking now on my profile. My voice is cracking. Oh my god, I'm losing my voice. If I scroll down. Oh, I actually joined January the 3rd, 2015 at 1:02 AM. Quite cool. Okay, so so the first books I would have read will be 2015 books then, so yeah, I'm just gonna get straight into it, and I'll put like the covers here or something so you can see them and stuff, and I'll leave links down below as well so you can read them if you wish to. And again, I'm not very good at describing books, so I will read the descriptions at first. Some of them have long ones, some of them have short ones, and then I'll explain it a little bit as much as I can. So I don't know what order I read these in, so I've just opened up a bunch of them and I'm just gonna tell you them. So one of the books is Currents, and it's by a girl named Tessa, and she's British, and I think I've talked about her on my Instagram because I tried to do some like weekly / monthly kind of like book recommended books, but it didn't work out. So but I have those posts still up there. It's a very interesting book. I think as I know, yes, it goes under chick lit, and I read a lot of chick lit because I've read a lot of like I read a lot like Erica James and stuff, and I think that can be classed like chick lit. I don't know if it can be, but I classed it as chick lit a little bit. So so I was very interested. As soon as I read this, I was like, this seems good. So I'll tell you, I did read one of her other books first, but I'm just choosing this one because generally her books overall are really good, but as a specific, I'll say this one. So this is the description. London-born Rosalie seems to have it all: image, wealth, and an ideal boyfriend. But when her mom's job means that she has to spend the summer in an American coastal town, the cracks in her life begin to show. Far away from home, she struggles to maintain her superficial friendships, battles with her deteriorating relationship, and fights against her mother's unfair demands. On top of that, her one place of escapism, the beach, is tarnished by the presence of Brent, an unfriendly but undeniably handsome lifeguard. With clashing personalities, Rosalie and Brent couldn't be more different, but their mutual love of the beach forces them together. As sparks begin to fly, the socialite and the lifeguard both find themselves embarking on a journey of self-discovery. Brent might be an expert at rescuing troubled swimmers, but while they both drown in their own problems and struggle to get to the surface of each other's issues, just who will end up rescuing who? And she's also she's also become like a Watties 2015 winner. They Wattpad do like a competition like every year called What the Watties, and her book won. I don't know what category it was in, but she won it. She's also I don't know if she's currently at this position, but she has previously reached #1 in the chick lit section. So yeah, just from reading that, it drew me in. I was like, oh, this sounds really cool. This sounds like it's gonna be really intense, and it was intense, I tell you that now. There are a bit adulty bits, but she does warnings in the beginning of the chapters, so it's to your own discretion if you want to read those or not. So yeah, basically, but that's chick lit for you. So it's nothing too, what's it called, like R-rated or anything. It's nothing like dramatically R-rated, but it's just like, you know, standard. And it's a 40-part story, but oh my life, it was so good. I really enjoyed it, and oh, the best bit about it was the character development. Again, I love when characters are written so well. I'm not looking at the lens. I love when characters are written well. The character development was brilliant. The way the character Rosalie was in the beginning to the end of the book, and Brent in the beginning to the end of the book, was amazing. Like, the way they just changed over time. Like, you could see how they were in the beginning. Like, Rosalie was very much stuck in her ways. She was a rich girl from London and blah 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 and stuff like that. And Brent was very much stuck in his own problems. He has his kind of arrogant, like, yeah, I thought he was arrogant at first, actually. I'm going to say that. I thought he was quite arrogant at first. Then we slowly get to know the characters, and slowly they get to know each other, and there's like fights and arguments, and oh, it's so good. And then eventually towards the end we see them changing, and it's like they're changing for the better. And yeah, it was just so good. So good. And anyone who likes chick lit or wants to get into chick lit, I definitely recommend it because Tessa writes beautifully. Any of her books are beautifully written. But yeah, she writes really good books, and from what I know, she's graduated this year. So the year I started, she graduated from her English degree as well. So she is an English student. So she's quite very good with her writing and stuff. So if you're one of those people who gets kind of pissed off by people not writing very well on Wattpad, because I will tell you there are people who don't write really well, and at the beginning I read a lot of those kind of books, and then I was like, wait, why am I reading books like this? I don't like the way they're written, and then I can't enjoy the book. And then I slowly started to find other books, and a lot of the books I will tell you on this, the popular books, are the bad boy kind of good girl ones. Okay, I'm gonna say I have a bit of a obsession with those kind of books. They're not, no, some of them are not written very well. Some of them are written so good. Not all of them are though, and I just have this like kind of thing about them, like, yeah, they're just nice, like this guilty pleasure about them. So yeah, that was the first book. The second book is The Cell Phone Swap by, her name's Lindsay Summers, but her Wattpad name is Do Not Microwave. Funny name. And this is like, it's in brackets, this is recently, I've seen this just now, but in brackets this is Fate's Game #1, so I have a feeling this is like a collection of books which I haven't read, the others, if there is others, because I never knew. Now this is one of the few books on Wattpad that isn't written in first person. A lot of books are written in first person, and I don't mind that at all because I love writing in first person myself. I find it easier. I find it easier to connect with the kind of characters and understand their like thoughts better and stuff. And I personally love that kind of point of view, but this one's written in third person and it was different, and at the time I was reading a lot of first person books, so it was brilliant. Again, very hard to explain, so I'm gonna read the description for you guys, okay? Cool. Okay. Keely accidentally swaps cell phones with a rivaling high school's star quarterback. Unable to switch back until a week later, she must interact with the arrogant boy, passing along texts and voicemails. As she gets to know him better, she realizes there's more to him than the sexual innuendos and egotistic comments. But when identities are revealed and secrets are exposed, will Keely's feelings remain? Now, I'm not going to reveal who he is because that's the whole point of the story, like who they find out who he is. But oh my god, I love this guy so much. Like, I love a lot of fictional boys or fictional guys. I have an obsession with them. But this one is one of my favourites. It's just those egotistic comments that he makes, and it's just like, why do you do that? But why do I love you? Like, I don't know if anyone gets that, like any other readers out there like gets that. So as I was saying, this is just a really good book, and it's a really good teen fiction, because the teen fiction on this website can be like hit or miss, but this is a really good one. So if you want to read this and it sounds really cool to you, I will put it down below for you. I'm out of breath, I ran down to get the door. The next one, oh my god, she's one of my favourite authors. Oh, she's so good. I don't know her actual name, but her Wattpad name is X Pure Chances. She has such amazing books, and this one book is amazing. It's part of a series, so let me try and find the name of the series because I can't remember. The Garment series. But I'll tell you all the books that are in it so you can know which ones I'm talking about. The first one I read was the one I'm going to talk about, but I need to catch my breath. Okay, I'm okay now. Jeans jacket, cotton cardigans, satin shirts, velvet vests, and lacy leathers. It has so many couples and characters. It's very good. It is very good. The one I'm talking about is Jeans Jacket, and it was a 2014 Watties winner, and oh, I love it. This is the description. It's very short. All her books have very short descriptions, but she's very good with the description because they're short, but they like really lure you in. So it says this: at school they were nothing. At midnight they were lovers, because 1 minute after midnight a rich girl and a boy who came from nothing found something they had in common. So it's classed as a short story because she's got #2 in short story, and she got number 25 in humour. It has a lot of nice funny moments in there, and it will make you laugh out loud, but at the same time make you cry. It didn't have the best ending, but I kind of like it, like kind of like with Eleanor and Park. It didn't have like a happy ending, but it was a realistic ending, and I'm all for happy endings. I love happy endings. I'm one of those girls who's like, oh, if they all live happily ever after, oh, it's happy and nice. But I like that but the realistic endings are nice as for a change to have those. But it's just very good, and the characters she's written are realistic again, but like, oh, you fall in love with the people, you fall in love with the guys, even the girls actually, they're just so, oh wow, they're brilliant. Like, again, a brilliant like collection of books, short stories, magnifique, brilliant, best ever. Good. The next one is actually belongs in the category spiritual. So Wattpad have like different categories, spiritual category, and it's like an Islamic book again. I discovered this like, I like to say after summer, I discovered that like Wattpad had a section called that even, because I was just basically reading all bad boy good girl books and all that kind of stuff. And it's called Before It's Too Late, in brackets, Islamic love story. And it was also a What Is 2015 winner. I had no idea. Way well done. I don't know how you pronounce her Wattpad name, but it's Khdahoo, but her name's Hansa. Yeah, that's her name. And she's from Mauritius, so it's like Madagascar area and stuff, so she's actually from abroad, but she writes very well. Her English is fairly good still. I know English probably isn't her first language, but it's still really good. So, and it also, actually currently it's number 86 in spiritual, but it's reached number 4 before, back in September. So, this is it. So the first part's like speech, because a lot of them give like some speech, like extracts from the book, so you know what it's like and stuff. So this is what it says. No, I'm scared, what if? And then it's all ifs, May. You're too scared. I know just from the way he cares for you, his gestures, his kindness, Mum interjected. He really does love you, May, and if you do too, one of you need to admit to each other before it's too late. I smiled at her words. Thanks, Mum. You're welcome, Princess. She stood up. Do you need anything else? I was going to ask if you have any extra clothes by any chance. She chuckled. Of course. Okay, and this is like the little description bit. May and Kyle, hijabi and bad boy, Muslimah and non-Muslim. After realising their feelings for each other, will they be able to confess before it's too late? And then it says, if you're sensitive to some matters, e.g. sexual harassment, then recommended not to read. But yeah, it did have some like stuff like that. Not by the main guy, don't worry, he's actually really nice. So it's something you wouldn't expect, so a Muslim and non-Muslim being together, because I can't remember exactly, I'm so bad. Muslim men can marry women who are like Christian and Jewish, but Muslim women can only marry Muslim men. If I'm wrong, someone please correct me, but I think I am right. This is written really well, but okay, the guy does convert, sorry, I'll give it away now. He does revert, sorry even, and but it's not even for her, he actually finds a love for our religion, and then he realises along the way that he loves her too. It's very well written, and it's got 48 parts. Some bits are a bit like slow, like oh my god, are we going to get to the point where they marry or something? And they do marry at the end, and it's a very nice book. I can't really say anything else. It's just a very well written book, and it's nice, and I liked it a lot. I was commenting throughout. If you see comments, you'll probably see my comments somewhere. Because I don't, obviously my name's Dreamer something, Dreamer X1, but you'll see my face there, so you'll notice me. And I just really liked it. I don't know how to like explain it. I've read a lot of these kind of spiritual books, but this was probably one of my favourites, and I like the way she writes herself, Hansa. She writes really well, and like I said, English is probably not her first language even as well, and she still writes fairly well considering that, so yeah. Okay, the next book is called The Good Girls, Bad Boys. The Good, the Bad and the Bullied, and it's written by Rubik's Cube 89201. It's a completed book. It has 76 parts, and it was also a Watties 2015 winner. See, I had no idea, because the Watties Award were like basically towards the end of 2015, so I didn't look back at some of the books that I'd previously read to see if they'd won or not, so yeah. It's currently number 1 in humour. It has such good humour. Like, not even like the cheesy kind of, that's not really funny, but okay, I'll laugh kind of humour. It has punny humour, so like, I love puns. It has really general, like, good humour. And it's not like your standard book. It's about bullying, and it's like, as far as I know, this book is like defeating bullying, and it even says on the cover, hashtag no more bullying. It's just very well written, and for someone who's been through bullying myself, me, obviously I never went through a physical, like this girl in the book has been through like physical being hurt bullying. It was always verbal with me, but I still understood it. I was like, okay, I get this, like I get the hurt. And like these guys, the bad boys, and she's the good girl, they help her through it. You'd think they're gonna like hurt her even more, but they become like her best friends, and they become her best friends. And then along with that, they become her bodyguards, and it's just, I'm just like, I like all three of you. Can you like all not be so perfect? So I'll read it out to you. It's quite simple really, Bennett told me. You'll be our good girl, Declan said. Jordan smiled, and we'll be your bad boys. I was silent for a moment. I looked at them, at the contract, and back at them. Then I calmly put the papers back on the table. I looked at the three of them and slowly rose from my seat. So, oh, you can hear my family all home now. I was trying to film this before everyone gets home, but okay. So what you're telling me, I said, my voice raising, is that you got me to meet up with you in Starbucks, probably ruining the rest of my senior year and maybe my life, just to make a contract with me because of your lewd desires, I exclaimed. Bennett blinked. Lewd? Jordan looked at Declan. I like this line. What's lewd? Is that a kind of food? Oh, I love that line. My favourite character is probably Jordan because he's like hilarious and he's like a little cutie. Then I like Bennett because he's like mysterious and stuff, and then Declan's like a big guy, and he's not like a big tough guy at the same time. He's like a little teddy bear, and it's cute. Let me read this out to you now, the actual description. Naomi Lorraine, more commonly known as Nerdy Naomi, with her thick rimmed glasses and straight A report card, is the most unpopular girl in her school. It sounds very cliche, but you'll read it and you'll understand. And even with the help of her sarcastic comebacks and the ability to give a good punch, that doesn't stop her from getting bullied by everyone in Dartwell High. Every day her childhood bully, Raymond Myers, knocks her off her feet, literally. And she can't do anything but to survive the laughs, insults and bruises high school gives her. The three musketeers are the baddest boys in her school: Bennett Fraser, Jordan Wallace and Declan Lynch. All in one day, Naomi catches their attention one by one. With the girls' snarky attitude but innocent look, they can't help but want her. But not in the way you're thinking. Oh no, not like that. Instead, it's probably the whole opposite. It's quite simple really. She'll be their good girl, and they'll be her bad boys. And then it says, though I'm proud book in course to stop the bull. So it's like to stop bullying kind of thing. And then she does also give a little warning that it's her first draft and it's not very good and stuff, but I think it's brilliant. It's such a good book, like I said, because it's about bullying and it's about something that most people at high school / secondary school have experienced. And not everyone's experienced physical bullying because that isn't very common. Actually, that's a lie, it is common. But a lot of people don't suffer like physical, but I know personally I suffered like verbal bullying. But it's still very good. It's a very good book, so I suggest reading it. You over there, read it. Okay, last book. On to the last book. It's another kind of like social justice type of one. And it's called Your Unslut Project. And it's written by Emily Linden. And it was a 2014 Watties. And it's classed under non-fiction because it isn't fiction. And it's currently number 4 in non-fiction. So it's an ongoing book because you'll understand when I read it out to you, but I'll read out the whole description to you. These are Wattpad members' experience regarding slut shaming and sexual bullying. I started the Unslut Project in 2013 by sharing my own middle school diary entries from when I was targeted at as the school's slut on Wattpad. So she shared it on Wattpad in 2013. This collection expands the project to include the shared experiences of the Wattpad community, whether the writer has been a victim or witness of sexual bullying or slut shaming, or whether they just want to share their thoughts. As these essays demonstrate, these issues have affected and continue to affect many of our lives in deep, often dangerous ways. If you're currently being sexually abused, you're not alone. You're not alone. It gets better. Please use these stories to expand your understanding of the widespread problem and comment respectfully. And then she puts a note saying some of these experiences are quite disturbing and might include triggering material and stuff like that. So I haven't read everything because it's a very long series of stories being shared and stuff. So I read some and they touch my heart. They honestly do. I'm all for, like, I don't know if anyone knows, but if you followed me on Instagram, or if you do follow me on Instagram, back in April 2015 I was part of the Red Your Lip Sexual Harassment Awareness Month, there we go, and I wore red lipstick the whole month to kind of support those who like get sexually harassed for being like saying that it's because of what they're wearing. So red lipstick being an example, because red lipstick is often linked to being like, oh, you want to have sex, oh, you want it, you're asking for it, blah, blah, all those kind of words. So I'm very much a huge supporter of this issue, this like problem that's still huge, firstly in the UK and then abroad, everywhere, all across the world. It's still massive. Like, you'd think it wouldn't be that huge in like a first world country, but it really is. And yeah, it's just very good. Some stuff is a bit upsetting and stuff, but as someone like myself who obviously never has experienced this but really wants to learn more about this and hear other people's experience and stuff, it's a good source of material on Wattpad to actually read. And I'm ending this book video with this book, and it's serious, but yeah, I'm ending it with this book. I probably should have started it with this book, but yeah, I suggest it if you're into this kind of thing, if you want to find out more about this, if you want to know more about the topic and know more about like what happens, how people feel after, like everything. Okay, it's a very good book. So yeah, I think we're done. This year in 2016, when I'm filming this, I want to read more books. Currently I'm going to finish, I think this week maybe, I'm reading Justine from YouTube, her book that she's published. I really like it. It's about technology and all that, and I love it. So that should be my first book of 2016, hopefully. This year, in case anybody wants to know, because a lot of BookTubers have been doing this on YouTube, saying in the 2015 book favourite videos, they've been saying how many books they want to read this year. My Goodreads, I have a Goodreads account, I'll post it down below. I don't share a lot of stuff on there, but I'll post it down below. But my Goodreads, what's it called, target is 30 books. I'm hoping to achieve that, and if not, surpass that, because there's so many books I've bought over the last year that I haven't read and I want to read, or other books that I haven't bought and I want to read too, because I've been watching a lot of BookTubers. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? This is on the spur, like on the moment thing. I'm going to share a few BookTubers that I like, because I've been watching a lot of BookTubers and I've got like, this is why I had the inspiration to do this video. I'll tell you a few. I'll tell you probably 4 or 5. So, A Clockwork Reader, and her name's Hannah. She's so good. She's I was watching her favourite books of 2015 before I filmed this, so yeah. Sasha from A Booktopia, a Book Utopia. There we go, got it eventually. I love her. She's probably one of the first booktubers I ever watched. A lot of people do know her, a lot of people don't know her, but she's very, very good. The next one is Ariel Bissett. She is, I like her. She has very good videos. I like her humour and stuff. So, yeah, you might be into it, I don't know, but I like her. Okay guys, so my memory card got full, so I had to quickly put another memory card in. I'm just going to wrap up this video. The next one is Katie Tastic. I like a lot of her writing videos. They're very good, they're very informative and very actual, like, helpful as well. So yeah, but her book videos are generally really good as well. Yeah, I think that's it. Those are my favourite booktubers of this year as well, and I've got a few others I think, but I just don't remember the names, so I'll just list them down below and you can check them out if you're into that kind of thing. I'm really into booktubers lately. I'm not going to consider myself a booktuber because this channel looks like a mix of things, but I definitely want to have more book things on here. If you want reviews of books, if you want to, if you want like, what do they call it, like vlog style, like kind of, like what do they call it, progress on my book, like the one I'm writing and stuff, do let me know and I will do whatever I can do. So yeah, that's all, and I hope you enjoyed this 2000 favourites, and I should talk to you guys real soon. Toodles!